What's going on, everybody? This is Captain Obvious, you guys are the 11 crew, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Alright guys, what I have for you today is my Mega Villager Breeder that is ready for all those new villagers that came with the snapshot the other day. Now, this is not just going to keep breeding like a lot of the other ones out there. There are faster ones out there. I think Silent Whisperer has one, but his just creates a ton of lag. So mine caps out. So there are 16 villagers up here. You can lower that if you want. You just need 8. You just need 2 in each little chamber. There are 4 chambers. But I have 16, obviously, to make it faster. And then there's 140 villagers in here. You can see them all stacked up on each other. And as you can tell, I mean, there's no lag. It's pretty good. Now, granted, this is in a flat world, so there's not, you know... I also have mobs turned off. Mob spawning turned off. So you're not going to see any of that other stuff. I'm not getting any of that other stuff, but there's a lot of redstone in there underneath, so it's, whatever. But I don't have any lag as of right now. So once you add all the other stuff in, it still really should not be that bad. But anyway, let's just get into what you need and how to build it. This is my new thing that I did for myself, so I make sure I keep everything in line. I started a new world, so it's nice and even. Okay, let's start right about here. Okay, so you're going to need some kind of building block. I'm going to be using quartz. Unless you have a ton of quartz, I don't suggest you use it, just because it's, you're going to use a lot of it. Light gray stained glass. You can obviously use whatever glass you want, or just regular blocks to close it all in. Some trapdoors, some stairs. This is just for decoration. Some grass blocks, or dirt blocks, whatever you want. Some lily pads, some water buckets. Now, these are just for the design that I chose. Technically, you don't really need the lily pad. You can just have the water, but I don't really like the villagers walking through it. Some slabs, just any slabs you want. I'm just going to be using smooth stone. And a diamond hoe, or just any kind of hoe, and some doors. You are going to need, I think there is 156 doors. So that's why there's 156 villagers. And then, obviously, I need a spawn egg and a sword just to kill the ones I don't want. So just to start out, you are going to need at least 4 farmers, so 1 in each chamber. That is just so they continue to pull up the crops. And as you can tell, there's no more baby making going on. As soon as we kill one of these guys, they'll start making babies again. Okay, so let's go right here. Perfect. Okay, so you're going to bring this out 1. Whoops. No, this way. Right here. So you're going to come out 1, 2, 3. Whoops. 3. Go diagonally. 1, 2, 3. Diagonally again. 1, 2, 3. And you guessed it. Diagonally again. Now I like to just make this floor not dirt. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now you can make this chamber as big as you want. This is just what I did so you guys can see how many there are. But if you wanted to, you can rig something to where there's boats in here, where there's mine carts in here, to where they pick these guys up. Or you can actually just create a villager trader, which I'm probably going to be making another one at some point. But I just wanted to get the breeder out there first. Okay. Now we're just going to come up with it, like so. And we're going to come up again, just like that. Now, at this point, this is where we're going to put our water. Okay, so right here in this middle one, we're going to bring this out, and this is going to come out 7 more. So this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is where water is going to sit. So just keep that in mind. Okay, just like that. Beautiful. And then we're going to put blocks on top, just like so. Perfect. I think for water buckets, you're going to need at least 5 for the water streams, and then you're going to need 2 for each of the top ones. So maybe find a way to get yourself some unlimited water, unlimited water source. Not a big deal, right? And then come out this way. Whoops. And then there. Cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our water source in there, just like so. And it pushes the water that way. Perfect. Let me just double check something really quick. I built this. Yeah, okay. I built this last night, so I just want to make sure I get everything done right for you guys. So we're going to come out like this. Okay, so see this very end one right here? See this block that pops out? That's going to have a thing on it and come out like that. Okay? Cool. Now we're going to come out 7 more in each of the middles. Actually, put one here, put a block up here. So 1 block right there. And then we're going to come out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 basically. But you want to make sure there's 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So that would be where that is, right down there. Okay. Cool. Now what we're going to do is we are going to come up like this. Oops. We're going to come out like this with it, with the glass. I like to be able to see them the whole way. Again, you don't have to use glass anywhere I use glass. I just like to actually see them come out. Okay, so we're just going to come all the way around like this. Perfect. And then I believe, yeah, it's solid blocks on top of that. I really like the design that I came up with, so I want to make sure I follow it perfectly for you guys. I was literally just messing around with the design late last night. Ooh. So I want to make sure I get this perfect. Okay. Now we're going to put blocks on top like so. There we go. So these are our secondary water chambers where they get kind of flushed out. They go for a nice little ride. Perfect. Okay, so now you can come in here. You can put your water down like so. And that should be all of them. Okay, so those are the chambers. And yeah, then we start building. Perfect. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to make sure that there's 8 in here coming out this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that last one is actually this. Okay, so you're just matching up the corners, not where this one is, where these are. Do I have it solid? Yeah, I do have it solid. So let's just follow that exactly. Okay, we're going to be taking out some of the water on the inside, but for now, just put down all of this. I mean, we're going to be taking out some of the dirt, but for now, just put down all of that. Okay, again, we're just matching up these corners here. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this, which I think looks really awesome, actually. Okay, and then what you're going to do is the middle one. So you're going to come to the top, the corners that touch that are angled to the hole right here. You're going to come out 1, 2, and on that third one, you're going to break it and then break that. Same thing over here, so it's going to be 2 this way, or 3 this way. So 1, 2, go that way and that way. See how kind of everything's starting to point towards the corner here? That's what you want. Again, 1, 2 on that third one. And then same thing here, 1, 2 on that third one. So if you look up, everything's kind of pointing in. Okay. Now underneath, you can come in here and you can just cover it up. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to put the water in. Keep in mind, do not press on the half slab because the water will fall through the bottom. You want to make sure you're pressing into the dirt. Okay, just keep that in mind because that does happen and it's quite annoying. Okay, and now we're just going to come back in here and we're going to put down our lily pads just like so. Perfect. Okay, now what you do is you just put trapdoors on the inside here. So this is the pattern that I use. Just pick any one, doesn't matter, and go across with it. Okay, then obviously you want to close it. Okay, then go to the left side of it and go down that way. Now keep in mind, really quickly, as you see here, there are still 4 villagers in each chamber. 100% of the time, the baby villagers walk down. I mean, that's 140 to 0. that they didn't. So there's still 4 villagers in here, which means what I'm about to show you after this proves that they always fall off. Okay, so then what I do is I go to the opposite one. So this one has them on both sides. We go opposite it, and now we do it that way. Okay, and then same thing over here. And then obviously you just want to press it down, because even though it's not on this one, because it's only a 1 block gap, it still counts. So that's how I do it. You don't have to do it. I just like it for the look of it, the design. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come all the way around, and except for, oh no, even on the ends, right. Starting on these ends right here, we're just going to come all the way around with it. Did I match them up? No. Okay, you can leave that space. You don't need that space on the end there. Come all the way across. Okay, same thing here. All the way across. So you don't want to actually cover... You don't want to actually cover the blocks right there. Okay, and we're going to do 2 rows of that. So we're going to come up like this. Okay, once you have these... Well, no, and actually not yet, because we still have to do one more thing. Never mind. I was about to say you could get the villagers, but not yet. Okay. Now what we're going to do on the ends here, we're going to come up 2. Okay. With regular blocks. There we go. These don't have to be solid, but the ones on top do. I think it looks stupid with glass, but that's up to you. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we don't need lily pads. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put our... Actually, yeah, you can put your doors. That's fine. I was going to say maybe you can't, but yeah, that's fine. Just put your doors. Again, make sure there's no other doors in the area. Now, these are not going to... They're not going to breed here because it's so close. So if you see it not working, it's only because I'm literally right next to it. People always ask, you know, how far apart should I build it? I think it's like 70 or 75, but I sometimes have issues with that. I usually say about 100. Go about 100 blocks away. That means 100 from the furthest point, which is right here. The next point should be over 100 blocks in between before you touch this. I don't mean like 100 from here to here because you still have this little overhang. I mean 100 from there to there. If it works for you at 70, that's great. But I sometimes have issues. I get a lot of comments about it in the comment section. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Okay, and then we're going to put a block there. You could break that. Okay, just come across. Again, you don't need to put that block there. I know it's kind of weird not doing it, but just it looks nice. Trust me. Or I think it looks nice. Okay, you need these blocks on top to validate them as doors. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're just going to take your stairs and just come in like that. I think it looks nice. Okay, it goes that way and that way. And that way and that way. Perfect. Looking good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is on this second piece of glass on the top, and on this one right here that's closest to where the water is, you're just going to bring this all the way around. Okay? Bring that all the way around. And what does that do? That keeps the actual villagers in there and allows the baby villagers to fall down. And as you saw from what I was showing you, it happens every single time. If by some reason it doesn't, then you're just going to have a couple extra villagers up here, but it's really not that big a deal. But as you saw, 140 times in a row, the villagers went in there. And the reason is because to the baby villagers who like to scamper around a lot, this is a block. There is no holes in here to any of the villagers except for this middle space right here. But that doesn't matter because they're walking off the edge. Okay, so that's the reason. So now is the time to get your villagers in here. Okay, so I'm just going to skip ahead. Make sure one of them is a farmer. Okay, make sure one of them is a farmer. That's all I'm going to say in each chamber. Or not a farmer, just a brown coat in general. Just straight brown coat. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, once you have at least 2 of them in each of them. Now keep in mind, the villagers will breed depending on a lot of stuff. One, oh, I have 5 in here by accident. One, it depends on how many villagers you actually have in here. Okay, so Oh, that's not the one I wanted to break. Kill. Let's get that. Let's get him going. There he is right there. Okay. So depending on how many villagers you have in here. So if you put 2, they're going to breed a little bit slower. If you put 4, obviously in each one, they're going to build a little bit, breed a little bit faster. The other thing is you now have to, once they're all in here, make this farmland. Okay. So just use your hoe to hoe the ground. And you're going to give them crops. I do suggest not only do you just plant the crops, I do suggest you giving them a bit more. So you're going to need that too. I guess I forgot that in the ingredients, but I don't know. I guess I should have. I guess I just assumed you guys would have figured it out, but that's my bad. You need some kind of crop. I do suggest something without seeds, so no beetroot or wheat. I suggest carrots as always because potatoes has poisonous potatoes, and that will take up a slot. But here's something else that's really cool. If you give them a lot of carrots, right, in the beginning when they start breeding, the babies, where are they? Where is it? The babies will end up getting a lot of carrots as well. So when they get in that chamber, they'll also start breeding. So the more you have in there with carrots or with crops, they also start breeding down there. So it's just this ongoing process because obviously they have to grow up first because they're babies when they get in there. But once they grow up, they do start breeding. I watched it, so I know for a fact that they do. Okay, so this is what I do. And this is what I suggest you guys do. So I would say if you can spare it, okay, have a full inventory of carrots. If you can't do that, take at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So take at least 8. So what I would do is take it and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just throw it in there like that. Oh, you know what? These guys are not going to pick it up because as you can see, they're all trying to lean and walk towards that over there. Well, they're not going to do it then. Maybe I should have built this far away. But anyway, just throw your carrots in there. Okay, they will pick it up. When I did it, those guys picked it right up. And you want to make sure the farmer obviously picks it up first. If you can throw it, but at least get it in there for the breeding, and then you can always come back and plant the crops yourself. Okay, but as soon as you do that, they should start breeding. As soon as you give them carrots or crops, they should start breeding right away. And like I said, make sure the farmer has it because he'll start planting them for you. I'm going to do it manually only because they won't do it in this farm. Okay, and yeah, you should start getting babies right away, but we are not done yet. Okay, we are absolutely not done yet. We still have to put more doors in here. Okay, so come on. That's why I want the farmer to do it. There we go. Okay. So your farmer is going to be doing that, and then I do suggest, like I said, you just take the carrots, 1, 2, 3, 4 full ones in each chamber. That'll be a nice start. If you can spare more, if you can do an entire row of carrots in each chamber, you're going to get a lot of babies right away. Okay, so again, it all depends on how many you start with and how much food you give them. Okay, anyway, let's move on to this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up 1, 2 on each of the corners here. Just like that. And then we're going to put the doors. I like to do the doors on the outside of it, like this. You can do it however you want to do it. Okay, so all my doors are going to go on the outside, like so. And the reason is that way, once we put a topper on it, it's just really enclosed. That's all. Here's a question, or here's a statement for you guys, I should say, because I don't actually have mob spawning on. I did that because I wanted to make sure that it was only 140 overnight and that it didn't crash my game. So I took off mob spawning. But this is going to produce iron golems. I don't have it here. And because, obviously, like I said, I turned it off. So what you're going to do now is cover this up. This should prevent the iron golems from spawning. Because it's a solid block and it's only 2 high. However, I have seen it before where they actually spawn inside the dirt. So the iron golems aren't going to hurt anything because it's close. Like, as you can see here, it's too high, so they can't jump up at all. Oh wait, are these guys actually breeding? Wow, they're actually breeding this close to each other. That's so interesting. 3 babies. I was not expecting that. They shouldn't be. Look at the baby. Look at him. See, now I don't know if he's actually going to walk off because, again, don't forget they're doing some funky walking because they're trying to get to that one. Yours will walk off the edge. Okay. Anyway, that's really weird. So you're gonna then just cover this up with half slabs because that should prevent the iron golems from breeding up here as well. Okay, so I'm going to just do this really quick. On everywhere. Just keep in mind, you're just going to put it right in this. See this little corner right here? 1, 2 on this third block. That's where you're going to be putting it. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, once you have all of that done, just come in here in those corners, put that down. I just think it looks cool. And then go everywhere on top. Oops, except on top of that, where you have solid blocks, and you're just going to cover it with half slabs. The game is getting a little laggy now, so it does appear as though one of these bad boys next to each other is all you're going to need, just one of them. So 156 villagers seems to be a nice amount for non-lag. Okay, there we go. I do suggest keeping this away from a ton of redstone. Something that's always going. You know, that would be probably ideal. I can't believe that they're actually breeding right next to that one. That's insane. I was not expecting that at all. Wow. Okay. Okay, so then what I like to do is I just like to come in here. Again, just for design. You don't have to do it. And I like to cover this up. So what we're going to do is, see where this hole is right here? We're going to leave that. We're going to go to the left and right of it. And then everywhere else, whoops, we're going to put a topper for it. And then come in here like so. Now what's funny is there's a space up in here enough for a iron golem to spawn, but he should be too far because of where we have our doors. And there you have it, guys. That's it. That's the whole breeder. I love it. Now if you happen to get an iron golem in your build, please try and send me a picture either on Twitter, the link is in the description, or somehow, just some way, see if you can get me a picture. I would love to see where they actually spawn. Again, I turned off mob spawning specifically because I did not want to break this new world, but 2 of them next to each other, it's a little bit laggy, but there's a lot of villagers. No idea how Carrots got down there, but that's crazy. So anyway, as you can see, it actually works. I can't believe it's actually spawned. It actually made that many villagers already. And that's it. And then from here, you would transport the villagers to wherever you wanted to. Okay? So anyway, I can't wait to see all the new villagers in action. I didn't watch any videos on them, but unfortunately on Twitter, people are posting pictures of them. And then I just got curious, so I started searching for it on Twitter, and I found a lot of them. They look amazing. They look really, really cool. So this will get you ready for when the new villagers are there, and you can get every kind. All right? So that's going to do it for me. Until next time, Captain Ivy's out. Peace.